Hi, my name is Ed Terzi. I'm the Western Regional Sales Manager for Rayence, and I'd like to take a few moments to show you how simple it is to use the Rayence software. Once you've logged into the system, you're given a choice of either working from your study list or your work list. Work list would be where you would normally be able to store patients that have been done in a previous time and had been interrupted for whatever reason, or you simply populated the list of patients you plan to do. Odds are you'll probably spend most of your time working within the study list, doing new patients from the study list. All you need to do is to start a new patient is enter the new patient's information by clicking on the little icon in the top left corner, which is New Patient. You enter the patient's ID number. If you don't have one, you can generate an accession number, which is a number that can be used as an identifier. You enter your patient's name, referring physician, or your name there, any kind of study description you want to add. And once you've entered that information, you go to capture. You're given a series of body parts. You just click on the body parts that you want to choose to do at the moment. If you make a mistake, you can always delete it. Let's say you enter this one, you don't want it, you can delete it out. When you're ready, you just go to capture. It'll move to a new screen. This screen will be your acquisition screen. You don't have to do these in order. You can jump around if it's easier for you. Do all your APs at one time, all your laterals at another, separately. It gives you a recommended technique that you can follow as a guide. It's not an absolute value, but it's a helpful tool provided by the system. When you're ready to acquire an image, all you need to do is to press down on your hand switch, and the system will go ahead and acquire the image. There is no generator interface on our system. It operates purely by an auto trigger. When it sees X-ray, it grabs the image, brings it into our system, and then processes it to the optimum value based upon that body part that you selected. It'll default immediately to the next view. All you need to do is go ahead and, again, press down on your hand switch. It'll bring up the image, and you'll be able to review them once you've completed all your acquisitions. If you realize that you've forgotten a particular view that you wanted to do, you just go down to Edit Procedure, and you can add a particular body part, and it'll take you back to the earlier menu and show you that body part. All right, very simple, very intuitive to work with. If you acquired an image and you decided you didn't want to keep it, you can either reject the image and it'll be removed from your patient's body part list here, or retake, and you can go ahead and redo it. If you have a particular acquisition that you would like to further process, you can do that now or after you've acquired and closed the exam. You'll notice a little exposure index bar that will give you an indication as far as your technique, where you were. You'd like to be down towards the lower part to get the best anatomy at the lowest dose. Once you've completed all your views, you go to Accept. It'll move the images now over to the study list. The most current patient will always be on top. If you want to search for patients you've done earlier, you can search from a date stamp, a period of time, or you can just populate all the patients that have been done on your system to date, and they'll all appear on the screen. To get to a patient to further process the image, you simply click on the patient's name. If you want to move the image in and optimize it for a particular piece of anatomy, you use a little image crop button down there. You move the anatomy parts into place with your cursor on your mouse. But you got it to where you're comfortable, you'll have to simply click on the image crop button again. It will reprocess that image and optimize it for that particular area of anatomy. You'll see it suddenly jumped up in size as well as improved overall resolution. You can rotate the image around, move it around on the screen. You can magnify the image, use a region of interest for zooming. Pretty dramatic. magnifying glass to move around in the image for areas of interest. Very simple, very intuitive, and a product that I think you'll find to be, a simple system to use. When you've completed reviewing all the images and you're ready to go forward and do something with that image beyond simply review, you've closed the folder. At this point, you can print the image to a printer, save it under a variety of formats, either bitmap, JPEG, DICOM, as an attachment to an email. You can drop it onto your desktop or some other location within your office network. You can export it to a disk, burn it with a viewer built into the disk, so you can give it to the patient. They can take it with them to show someone else who needs to look at the images. Within the software program, you will find for chiropractic application with each image, you have within the basic viewing software a variety of tools that you can use that include a variety of angles, points, measurements, free drawing, circles, squares, whatever you feel you want to do at this point. You can move in a left or right marker, delete it out very simply, add in text, type in the word that you want to add in, and move it wherever you want to move it. If you don't want it, you simply delete it. All right. When you've completed everything you need to do with it, you will find that on your individual computer, you will find outside of the workstation a separate little program, which is our viewing program, and this allows you to do further processing of the image and be able to do measurements that are more sophisticated than the ones listed on our current workstation, and these are included at no additional cost. You'll get those as part of the system, and when the patient's files are moved over to your individual computers, you will have access up to about 75 different measurement tools, and they're all marked along the top. You just click on the one you want to do, and you can easily, like in the case of the cervical spine, you simply click on it. It'll give you a guide that you will simply follow to do the measurements. Follow it around, and once it has acquired the sufficient number of points, it will generate a standard deviation curve for you as measurement, as well as you can also save this and store it on your personal computer. And that is basically the extent of the software. A quick review, and I hope you enjoy this presentation, and thank you for taking the time